Okay, let's imagine for a moment you're stepping onto the banks of the Nile, right there in Aswan, Egypt.
Sun-drenched ancient landscape.
Exactly. And then this burst of color unfolds before you, a traditional Nubian village.
It really is striking, isn't it?
Yep.
Vibrant.
Totally. And today, we're kind of leaving the main tourist path behind.
We want to get into the heart of these communities.
Yeah, focusing on something pretty special.
Yeah.
What it's like to actually be welcomed inside a Nubian home.
It's such a unique opportunity.
Our goal here is really to shed some light on this incredible culture, its history, bring it alive for you.
And we're drawing on firsthand accounts, expert insights, to really paint the picture.
So what's the first impression when you arrive in one of these villages?
Well, I think what hits you immediately is that feeling of entering almost a different world, a very distinct cultural space.
It's more than just pretty buildings.
Yeah, much more. It's the history, the tradition. You feel it woven into everyday life there.
Right, and often that experience kicks off with just incredible warmth, doesn't it?
Yes, the hospitality. It's famous for a reason.
Many people talked about being offered carcade almost right away.
That hibiscus tea, so refreshing, especially in the heat.
It's such a simple thing, but it says so much about the welcome you're about to receive. It really kind of sets the stage.
It really does. And, that tradition probably goes way back. Think about it, in that environment, travelers might have really depended on community support.
Makes sense. A sort of historical necessity turned into genuine warmth.
Exactly. Then, of course, your eyes go straight to the houses.
You can't miss them. The exteriors are just, wow. These bold, hand-painted designs.
Geometric patterns, scenes from daily life, maybe from centuries ago.
And the colors. Just this incredible array. But it's not just random, is it? These colors mean something.
Precisely. They're often deeply symbolic. White, for example, you see a lot of white.
To reflect the sun, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Helps with the intense heat. And blue. Well, blue is all about the Nile, the sky, that connection.
The lifeblood of the region.
Definitely. And green. You often see green with plants, palms, flowers painted alongside. That represents prosperity, fertility. So crucial.
And sometimes animals, too. Crocodiles, camels.
Yes, animals native to Nubia often feature in the designs. Part of their world.
What about those really bright yellows and oranges?
Those sunny colors are often seen as a way of showing gratitude, to the sun.
It's like the whole house is telling a story.
It is. You might even see writing on the walls, welcoming words in Arabic or Nubian, sometimes verses from the Quran.
Wow. So the visual choices are just completely tied into their history, their environment, their beliefs. It's like a whole visual language.
That's a great way to put it. And it extends to how they're built, too. That speaks to a long history of ingenuity.
You mean the materials?
Yeah, traditional homes often use mud bricks. It's a technique passed down for, millennia, really.
Local soil, water, straw.
And sometimes dung, actually.
Ah.
It helps make the bricks workable and more resistant to water.
So it's really about smart use of what's right there in the environment?
Absolutely. Those thick mud brick walls, brilliant insulation, they keep the inside much cooler, naturally.
Passive cooling?
Right. And traditionally, you'd often see domes on the roofs. Another clever trick to help distribute the sun's heat, keep things cool. Small windows, too, in the older styles.
It seems like building and decorating is often a family thing, a
Yeah.
community thing.
Very much so. Women traditionally play a really important role in decorating, painting the houses.
Which says a lot about their place in the family, and it must foster a real sense of cooperation.
That communal spirit is absolutely key to understanding Nubian culture. Building a home together, making it beautiful, it strengthens those bonds.
Okay, so let's step inside. What's that like?
Well, that's where you get a really personal look at daily life. Very intimate.
You might see, traditional kitchens?
Yeah, maybe mud hearths for cooking. Maybe those simple, very effective clay water coolers.
And sometimes little hints of the Nile's influence inside, too, like crocodile decorations.
Sometimes, yes. Reflecting that historical connection, that coexistence with the river's creatures.
The interiors sound quite practical, maybe simpler than the exteriors.
Often, yes. Designed for the rhythms of life in a hot climate. The simplicity can feel quite calming, actually, a contrast to the vibrant outside.
And then there's the hospitality again, if you're invited in.
Oh, prepare for it. It's genuine. It often involves sharing stories, a real back and forth, learning about each other.
And tea. There's always tea, right?
Oh, almost certainly. Served inside, or maybe up on a rooftop terrace if it's pleasant out.
And you might actually learn quite a bit. about how the house is set up, where the water comes from, who does the cooking.
Definitely. It's this tradition of opening their homes that gives you a chance for real connection. It goes way beyond just looking around as a tourist.
It's also really good to hear that some villages are actively trying to preserve traditional Nubian food.
Yes, that's so important for cultural identity.
Yeah.
Using local ingredients like wheat, sorghum, barley.
Making things like kebab bread.
Exactly. Or dishes with peas, spinach, okra, using spice blends that are quite different from, say, mainstream Egyptian cooking.
Keeping those unique flavors alive.
It's vital. Even though many people have adapted, these efforts to maintain the older culinary traditions are really significant.
And for visitors who want a really deep immersion, there are places like guest houses. You mentioned Hadouda Mazrea in Garb Sahel.
Yes, it's a well-known example, one of the first to open up, apparently.
And they do things like naming rooms after songs by a famous Nubian singer, with lyrics on the walls.
Right, it creates this incredibly atmospheric, immersive experience.
They seem to really prioritize that cultural connection, maybe even skip things like TVs in the rooms.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
To encourage guests to just soak it all in, engage with the place and the people. You might also see efforts towards sustainability, like using upcycled wood or other materials in the decor.
Okay, so stepping back outside the home itself, what about the rest of the village experience? The market, for instance.
Ah, the market, often right near the entrance. It's lively.
Spices, crafts, textiles.
Jewelry, souvenirs, all sorts.
Yeah.
You might see similar things elsewhere in Egypt, of course, but the vibe in the Nubian village market is often described as, well, more relaxed.
Still need to haggle a bit, though.
Oh, probably. It's part of the experience.
Yeah.
But it's a great place to find unique things and support local artisans.
Any specific Nubian items to look out for?
Definitely keep an eye out for the takia, those colorful hand-woven caps, often made by local women with beautiful geometric patterns or maybe flowers, birds.
Right, I've seen those. And hibiscus.
Yes, Aswan's known for really high-quality dry hibiscus, the karkadai. Perfect for making that tea back home. And look for bead necklaces, crafts made from palm trees too. Lots of creativity.
And just wandering around, you get a sense of pride in their heritage.
A very strong sense, yes. And people are often really happy to share their culture, that hospitality isn't just inside the homes.
It feels quite remarkable, especially considering the history, the challenges they've faced.
Absolutely. You have to remember the huge impact of the Aswan High Dam construction in the 20th century, the resettlements,
Forced displacement, losing ancestral lands.
profound disruption. Yet, despite all that, they've held on to their distinct culture, their languages, Nubian and Kanusi Dongala. Those colorful houses, in a way, are a powerful visual symbol of that resilience, that continuity.
It's actually quite inspiring, and some villages, like Garb Suhail you mentioned, have even been recognized internationally.
Yes, as UN Best Rural Tourism Villages,
Uh,
which is fantastic recognition for their efforts in sustainable tourism, cultural preservation, and community development.
That's great. It shows a way forward, balancing welcoming visitors with protecting their way of life.
It really does. A model, perhaps.
So besides the homes and the market, what else might you do there? Camel rides?
Camel rides are definitely an option. Through the village, or maybe between villages, it's quite a memorable way to see the area.
And what about those crocodile houses?
Yes. Some families have historically kept crocodiles, or still do. Some homes have become sort of mini attractions where you can see them, have tea with the family.
Interesting. Though probably good to remember tipping is expected in those situations.
Yes, that's customary. And getting to the villages themselves is often part of the adventure. Usually a boat trip from Aswan, right?
Yeah, often a lovely short ride on the Nile.
And once you're there, especially in places like Garb Sahel with perhaps rougher paths, you'll see lots of those little three-wheeled motor tricycles, tuk-tuks basically.
The local taxis.
Pretty much, they're everywhere.
So wrapping this up, it feels like a visit to a Nubian village. And especially getting inside a home is just something else entirely.
It really is. It's a genuine window into a culture that's incredibly rich, resilient, and has such deep historical roots. Still vibrantly alive.
You go from the stunning colors and art on the outside
to the warm hospitality and the living traditions inside. It's a chance for a real human connection, you know? Insights you just won't get on a standard tour.
So, as you think about this journey into Nubian life, what really stands out for you? What questions does it raise about maybe cultural preservation or adaptation, or even just what home means?
Perhaps this little glimpse might just inspire you to explore more of the amazing diversity that makes up Egypt, and indeed our whole world.